Hello, my name is Pedro and I just want to show you some Zoom essentials that you can use for your classes or meetings. The number one thing that we can have is whenever we have a setup with multiple people like this. Even though here I have my same username repeated, you probably will have different people at the same time. But one of the important things with remote sessions is that we can use reactions. Usually in face-to-face conversation, these reactions are very natural, but we have to be very intentional whenever in a remote setting. So look for your reaction buttons so you can look for those. And as well, if you click on participants, you can look at some of other reactions that we can have. For example, if you want to ask a question, you can raise your hand. You can answer simple questions, yes or no. You can say that maybe you want the presenter to go slower or faster, or you can like, dislike, clap, or maybe tell them that you need a break. So these reactions are very important. You can find some of them under reactions or participants and will make your interactions much better. Definitely another thing to keep in mind is the chat box. Whenever someone is presenting, usually we can type things or ask questions using the chat box. So make sure that you check the chat box for asking questions or making comments. You can also ask individual people without going to the public chat for everyone. And that's also very helpful whenever looking at classes or meetings. Another important feature is whenever someone is presenting, usually we have two modes of operation. You can look or to choose focus on the person that is speaking, or you can have everyone gather in a grid style whenever interaction among different people at the same time is important. And this also happens whenever we need to present something. So if somebody is presenting, could be a teacher or it could be a person in a meeting, usually this situation will happen. The presentation will take most of the screen, so you will see the presentation bigger and usually the people will become smaller. So one important thing to keep in mind is that you can always resize this. You can resize it to make either the presentation bigger or smaller depending on what you want to pay attention to. And a very cool feature is mixing this with the previous one, choosing a speaker view. So then you would have also a bigger view of your speaker, of the person that is speaking to you. So I think that this is very important because sometimes you want to look at the actual presentation and sometimes you want to actually focus on the person presenting. So switching between these two and the gallery and speaker view is very important. So those are some Zoom essentials that are very important for interactions, even more whenever you are attending a class or a big meeting and you want to switch focus between the presentation and the presenter. So those are some Zoom essentials and hopefully that can help you in your everyday Zoom adventures.